Hello, hello, good night, and welcome once again to EOB Salon Talk. Tonight is going to be a very, very impactful night. It's going to be a fun night. Let's welcome our guest, Mr. No other than Mr. Money Mike.
Money Mike.
Mike, how are you?
Good, 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 good.
I am so honored that you decided to be a part of EOB Salon Talk today.
Yes.
First of all, can you introduce yourself to my guests, please?
So I go by the name of Money Mike. I'm also CEO of Momi Clothing. Momi Clothing Line. Yes.
Momi. So Momi, how did you come up with that name? First of all, let's start right there. Let's just jump into it. How did you come up with that name, Momi?
So
Because I like it.
So I'm just gonna give you a fast forward. In the last 5 years, I've been putting information, collecting information together on how to do a clothing line, and I was struggling with a name. Um, I'm a party promoter. I've been throwing parties for the last 12 years, so I already have a platform. People come to my parties from all over the tri-state area and stuff like that. So I knew I needed a product. It's easy for me to push the product because the party people follow me anyway.
Hey.
So I was struggling for a name. I had 4 names. It just wasn't a good name. So I work for the post office. There's a guy at my job, white guy. And I was telling him the situation. He's fascinated about the black culture and what we do. And he followed me from the parties and Mike, what's next? I told him a clothing line, but I'm struggling. So he's the one who thought of the name Momi. And when he came with the name, I'm like, well, what does that stand for? He was like, your name, Money Mike. It's short for Money Mike, Momi. I thought it was stupid, to be honest. I sat on the name for 4 weeks. Thought it was stupid. But I was pressed for time and I needed to come out. Because in life, when you want to do something, you always find something you delay. Like you be like, oh, next month. Oh, there's never a right time.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to come out, and when you come out, you fix the glitches later. So I decided to come out with the name. Originally, when I came out with the name, I was marketing Money Mike. It was another young guy. I got a lot of creative people on my marketing team.
Good.
And the one thing about messing with the youth, because I'm 47,
Hey.
the youth are very talented. They see the vision different. So it was a young guy, like 25. He was like, Momi, you've given the world more of me, more me. So
Wow.
I decided to go marketing wise with that because that fit the situation better than Money Mike. Because everybody know I'm Money Mike, but that marketing wise is better.
So wait a minute. Everybody know. How did you get the name Money Mike though? Money.
Okay. So Money Mike started in 1996. So after high school, I didn't go to college. I think I did a semester in college, and I'm originally from the Bronx. I moved to Mount Vernon '88. So one of my very good friends, Joe Jeanette, Heavy D best friend, met him. He introduced me to everybody. Heavy D, Pete Rock, CL Smooth, everybody. That's how I know everybody. So I seen when Pete Rock, CL Smooth got on. I seen when Puff got on. You know what I'm saying? And then going down to the radio station, record labels with them, it's just a party town. Every party in the 90s I've been to, every club, skipping lines, tours, Madison Square Gardens, out of state, LA, all that. I've been there. So I pretty much, hung out, partied and bullshit, and ran the streets. So it was a guy in the Bronx, Dave, that, I did some business money ventures in my time in the 90s.
Yes.
And it was a guy, Dave, who gave me the name because I could take an operation and turn it from nothing into something. So he started calling me Money Mike, and the streets respected him because he made a lot of money. And it just follows suits when you're hanging in the streets. Now think about this. This is the 90s. This is 95. But the name came into effect in 96. And ever since he was calling me that, everyone calls me that because they seen the transformation. I'm tied to anything to do with money.
You say something that for me was profound.
Okay.
You could take
right.
money, right?
Right.
And create with it.
Create a situation.
So when I look at you now, not knew you back in the 90s, but not knowing you back in the 90s because we actually met at this location here.
Right.
Long story, not for this podcast. Long story. But what was good about that was, sometimes we take different. I like people that take their opportunity. We all have opportunities in life.
Right.
The problem is with our opportunities that we have in life, not everybody make it into something. What I respect about you is, and I've watched you, in different ways, and what I respect about you was you took whatever you learned in the 90s, whatever you did, whatever you were doing, and you turn it into something powerful. When we started, you said this. You said the youth. See, I'm a firm believer in giving back, in pulling another person up, pulling the youth up. And what you said is that stick with the youth, pretty much. You just gave me a drop a nugget on me right there.
Right.
See, people don't get that. Don't miss that part.
Right.
Stick with the youth, and they'll actually help you.
Let
Now,
me tell you something. You have to save relationships out here. Keep relationships with everybody, the youth, your age group. Keep the line. Don't try not to burn bridges.
my favorite.
Down the road, people could come back and help you. Believe it or not, when I started Moment Clothing, a lot of people who I met through Heavy D, all the record labels, Arista, social media is very big now. So people could see you without even seeing you. They could be in LA, Atlanta, Miami. So now people remember me from the music industry with these dudes. They reaching out. Yo, we see you doing that. Ship your clothing to Atlanta. Ship your clothing to LA. Ship your clothing to Miami. These are relationships I made and kept in contact because my character is good from the 90s. It's 2020.
You said it again. You said it again, right? Character.
Yeah, your character.
Building character.
Plays a role.
So with saying that, who inspired you most? If you could say one person, I know for you maybe a couple people.
Right.
So what inspired you? I like to ask people this question because I'm inspired by a whole lot of things. One of my favorite is Rosa Parks. And I'm a hairstylist, so people think I'm going other ways, but Rosa Parks inspired me in a way that lived deep within me. So who actually inspired? What are some of your inspirations? Why?
I'll never forget this story. So the 90s, all record labels, Def Jam, Bad Boy just started, Uptown. Puff started as an intern. Look at his situation. He started working for free, worked his way up. They seen he had an eye for talent, but it was free, and then they put him into a slot to get money, like on payroll. So now, because I'm older, what you need to take for a situation, sometimes it's okay to do something and you're not getting something back. It's okay to do something
say
for
that
free.
again. Say that again. Say that again. It's okay to do something for free sometimes.
Right.
Because people don't get that.
Right, because you get the knowledge.
Keep going.
So, interesting story. Like I said, I used to go to all the labels. Uptown, Bad Boy just started. So I'm going to Bad Boy because everybody from Mount Vernon is there. Groovy Lou, Jay Black, all of them is there. So I got access to go there. They let me in the office. I never forget. I met Total and 112 before they was on. This is before the 112 video with Biggie. Biggie was the only one on. So I met them. Stevie J, who's hot now, they used to clown him in the office. He was the guy to go get McDonald's. Real talk. Like they sonning him straight up. Stevie J's the dude who showed me the Total video with 112 and Biggie. He showed me that video before it came out. And was like, yo, this is dope. Look at it. So I never forget Groovy Lou. Shout out to Groovy Lou, Groovy Styles.
That's my dude. Yep.
Clothing designer.
We're getting him here soon.
Started with Puff and all that.
Yep.
He's big in fashion. Groovy Lou always been cool. Same guy, same character from day one.
Nothing changed.
I never forget. I was like, yo, Groove, I want a job too. Like, I want to work. He was like, Mike, you out in the street, you're not going to want to do this because I was always fly. New Pele, all that, Averex, all that, always fly. So he was like, I don't think you're not going to want to work here because it's like a stipend. Like, they give you like $150 every 2 weeks. Ain't no money. But if I would have really thought about it, the stipend's cool because I had my own money back then. But I got access. Working at Bad Boy gives you access. All the parties. If they go to North Carolina, you're going with them for free. If they go to LA, it's access. I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it as the money because Groovy Lou was like, you're going to want to check. And in the beginning, ain't no money here. I should have did it for free because back then I had no job. I was hanging out for free anyway. We going to parties 4 days a week. So, okay. So, back then I'm hanging out for free. So I should have did it. Worked for Bad Boy. I would have moved up. I knew everybody. So that's one thing I regretted. You asked me a question. Who was an impact, influence? I like the Puff Daddy story. I liked the fact that he worked for free, worked his way up with the connections, learned the game. I like that. Another dude in the music industry. This is after they got on Dame Dash. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about after he got on. Mm-hmm. Dame Dash is a very smart business dude.
Hey,
you can learn from him. I wish Dame Dash would be a motivational speaker because the knowledge he has on business is incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. Dame Dash is incredible. So back to Momi Clothing. Over the last 5 years, I've been collecting data. One of my good friends from Mount Vernon, Omar Oski, is a fireman. He wanted to do a clothing line, and I used to go downtown with him to the fashion district. I used to go to Brooklyn in Brooklyn, a lot of print shops is there that they manufacture your clothes. So I'm going with him collecting data. I'm collecting all this data, going with him. And this is his show. But the data I collected in 1 year would take 4 years for someone to learn. But just hanging out with him on his show. So I'm collecting the data. I collected enough data where I felt strong enough I could do my own situation. Because I collected data from other people over the years. But Oski played a pivotal role leading up to Momi.
I asked you that question because it's very important to know about who inspire us sometimes. Because I believe what you're doing, you're actually paving the way for the generation to come.
Right.
And, I started this journey here so I could speak to people so my younger generation could actually understand what it really means to go out there and work. You started one way, but you built something from it, which segue me into this question. The world went through this crazy time with the pandemic, right? Yeah. How did it impact you? How did you deal with that? How did that actually impact you and your business per se? Because I think you started right before COVID. So how did that impact you?
Fast forward, so a very good friend of mine, they go by the name of King George. He ironically came out with a clothing line, I think he came out January, and I was gonna come out maybe like a week before that. My production got held up with the print shop, so I could have been out in December or November. So when I did come out, he came out like the week before me. So I wanted to let him live. I didn't want to bump heads because we were good friends. So I didn't want people to think it was a competition thing. So I let him rock for like a month and a half. So I came out like March, like a month and a half later. So boom, I come out. I was doing marketing. So even though I came out March, I was still posting Momi. People was like kind of unclear, like, well, he keep posting this name. What's this about? And then first I would put Momi, then I would put Momi Clothing coming soon. So I did like a 2-month build-up of repetitive Instagram, Facebook. So when the clothing line dropped, they're like, oh, okay. Now, one thing I learned from back in the day, and when I say back in the day, clothing designers that I know a few of them from the late 90s, they was under the impression that you have to buy bulk. That's bullshit. So let me tell you what bulk does, right? They feel like they got to come out with a full clothing line. That's the wrong thing. I know people who come out with full clothing lines that they stuck with certain colors. They might be stuck with purple, orange, red, this and that. So you have to get proof of concept that you're even hot. Because you got a lot of people that this shit is hot, I'm sticking with it. You proof of concept meaning put it out there, see people gravitate towards you, keep it real simple, maybe 2 colors until you know you got proof of concept. Then you dip into the other colors. This is all a strategy that you have to learn, research, etc. So these clothing designers, I've seen a lot of them fail because they were stuck with merchandise. Some of them, the logo was whack, and some of them, they just picked the wrong color. But bottom line, they were stuck with merchandise. So being I knew this from back in the day now, when I came out, I said, you know what? I'm going to do pre-order. Posted on social media.
Good idea.
Real simple, white and black. You know, because I need to get proof of concept, get the sales coming in before I dip into all these other colors. White and black, real simple, what you want. One thing about going into COVID, I feel like I'm a popular guy. So my popularity off rip, I got people that, Mike is a good dude. You know what? Give me 2, give me 3. You understand? I'm buying one for everybody. My wife, my kids, everybody. Boom, COVID comes out. Right in the middle of me doing this shit. It comes out like 3 weeks later.
So COVID hit you right when you have your idea,
I come out March 1st. They start shutting down New York City the 3rd week of March, like the 20th. And then by April, city shut down. Highways empty, telling people don't hit the road. Mad people dying a day. It's like what? 5,000 people dying a day or some crazy shit. So only essential jobs is open. I work for the post office. So they open. People scared to go to the post office. So I knew it was real when 3 co-workers died. So I'm like, oh, this shit is real. People start getting scared because they was like, well, they was coming to work. So why am I coming to work? They not scouring down stuff. So people stop coming to work.
So you actually weren't home. Like I was home because I was shut down for a while.
Right.
So you actually was going to work as opposed to.
Right. And then I
stopped.
stopped.
I must say thank you though, because that's a great job.
So I stopped going to work too.
Oh, you did?
Mail slowed down.
Fact.
In New York. It slowed down. So what took you like 2 or 3 days might take you 2 weeks to get the mail. Because it slowed down. It wasn't moving.
Right.
People wasn't coming to work.
True. I thought, okay.
And I'm going to tell you the freaking what the post office did.
Mm-hmm.
They started hiring young people who ain't been working in 2 years. Just hire you off the rip. Boom. You get there. You're not really realizing it's unsafe. Nothing's in place to clean the place. There's people that died here. There's people that's getting sick. They're not putting the information out there. But the young people just want a job. It's a high-paying job. They're not looking at like how you get hired so quick. They're not looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
So they replaced a few people, but the mail was still behind. Getting back to the clothing line. So with the internet, why it's so powerful, Instagram, Facebook, very powerful. I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Instagram, I got like 2,900 people following me. I'm only following like at the time 900. So you got to ask yourself, why so many people following me? Because I live a certain type of lifestyle. I travel, parties, the nicest restaurants.
The partier, so the promoter.
People gravitate, they want to see that. If you give them something to see, they want to see. So I use that, the lifestyle, and tied it in to Momi. You understand what I'm saying? Tie it all in together. So during COVID, I follow a lot of people, not just New York. There's people from Miami, Atlanta, VA, California that follow me. So believe it or not, my sales was coming out of state. The New York people was holding their money because they were scared. Yo, this shit is shut down. I'm not spending no money.
Yeah, we were. We were scared,
okay,
of course.
But my sales came from out of state. So a marketing strategy I did was, if you was from North Carolina, bought my shirt, yo, listen, take a picture, send it to me. I'm going to post it. And then when you post it, you got to word it. This is Ray Green from North Carolina. He just made a purchase. Thank you, Ray from North Carolina. So now the New Yorkers, because I'm naming people what state they from, they're like, wait a minute. Mike know this person in North Carolina, California, this person Miami, this person Virginia. So now the New Yorkers, they're home. They just got the stimulus check. Right?
Yeah.
The people are
not me.
The people are getting money from their job because some people are still working. You can't go nowhere, so you're saving money because you can't go out to eat. Restaurants is closed. You can't go to the movie. There's no entertainment, so you got extra money. So people got extra money. The New Yorkers, they started buying my shit, but the help came from out of state first for me.
But that's a blessing, though. It's a blessing that you knew these people and that
Right.
they could help. But let me ask this question.
Well, I
this
lived
way.
off the 90s, my
Hey,
past.
I was just gonna say that.
I lived off of that.
So, and
Mhm.
leads me to the next question. You lived off the 90s.
The 90s put me in the game.
Right. Because you remember where you from, whence you came.
Right.
And you had relationship. You built
Relationships.
relationship.
Relationships,
So-
that word. We're going to keep going back to that word this whole video. Relationships are everything. From the 90s. People be like, Mike, why you be talking about the 90s? Because guess what?
Hey, it's best music.
It's
Come on
making,
now.
But it's making me float through my situation right now. The 90s, believe it or not.
I think
I had an incredible track record. First of all,
Oh boy,
he
here we
asked me a
go.
question. The cameraman back here asked me a question. Yo, Money Mike, the 90s, my card game was incredible.
Your card game
Car.
or card game?
Luxury card game was incredible. Okay? 95, I had the Aqua Legend Coupe. Everybody in America, you wanted an Aqua Legend Coupe. The two-door with the tan leather. Am I lying? Okay. And I had this in real time when niggas wanted it.
So
Not years
I
later.
need you to know that I had an Acura Legend too.
Okay. I had it, but I had
And it was 10.
Time out.
So just so, you
I
know,
had the
in
green,
the
I had the
90s.
green with the tan leather. I had it in real time when people wanted it that couldn't get it.
Oh.
Right? Not years later.
Mm.
My next car, I had that a year. My next car, I was changing cars every year or year and a half. My next car, Lex Coupe. Every rapper in America wanted that. I had it. Okay? Lex Coupe. That was like 97. Boom. I'll never forget this. The CLK, right?
Ooh.
The Benz. Buddy Eye joint. Came out 99. Only dudes had it uptown. You seen that shit in the Mace video. That's it. It wasn't too many people, maybe 3 people uptown that had that shit. I was in the 3. I had a silver CLK with long hard rims. That changed the game for me. People looked at me different. I bought that shit for myself for Christmas. Okay?
Merry Christmas to you,
Yes.
Mike.
So my card game was crazy. He wanted to know why they call me Money Mike. My history speaks for itself.
So let me answer that. Since we just went around it and he didn't answer it.
Okay.
They call him Money Mike
Right.
because he was making money, at living with money, acting like he had money, and looked like he had money. So you were just,
No, this is for real.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
had money.
I was in the mix.
So I
Did a few
always
things.
say,
I was involved in a couple of real estate deals,
Oh.
sneaker store, and a couple other things that we ain't got to talk about on camera. Nobody's trying to go to jail.
and you won't go to jail.
No one's trying to get indicted here.
But Mike, you turn your life around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And this
Yes.
interview is to show how
Yeah.
you could turn your life around.
Oh yeah.
So ain't nobody
With,
going
with good
anywhere.
relationships.
With good
Keep
relationships.
I kept a lot
Keep
of
it
good
over here.
relationships.
You don't like my lipstick or
No, I'm
something?
trying to look into the camera,
No,
so the
look.
viewers can see me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna look at you.
Ignore
Okay,
him.
Yeah.
You can look at me.
All right,
Mike. It's
gotcha.
all right.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
I'll only charge you.
Yeah, it's all good.
I sweatpants or something.
Listen, it's all good. It's all good.
I gave that to you, right?
So boom.
But my question is,
Mhm.
what would you add? What would you say to a younger you? What is one of the things you would say to a younger Mike if you had the opportunity to speak to a younger Mike? What would
To
it
the
be?
youth.
No, to a younger you. What would you say to your younger self?
Like I told you, that bad boy situation, I should have took it. Everybody who worked for free at Bad Boy back then got on.
So what you would say to your younger self is like working for free sometimes okay.
Everybody got their shot. So they was on for like a year or two. Vice president ran this, or now did they stay in that situation? Is a whole nother story. But they got the fame and glory for at least 2-3 years. Everybody that started off working for free got on.
I remember when you met me, I was a shampoo girl, remember?
Okay, no, I don't remember that.
Ah, see?
So many years.
So we spoke about Stevie J, right? Stevie J was the
Stevie J.
McDonald guy.
Yeah,
I
Stevie
was a
J.
shampoo girl.
Right. And Stevie
Right
J-
here in this location,
Right, and then
actually.
Stevie J got on. He was a part of hit makers, and then the big producers and all that and stuff like that. Stevie J went on to produce hits and all that. So
It's not where you
That-
start, though.
that's what I'm saying to the youth. Like sometimes you got to know, and you got to know when to seize opportunity.
Oh, wait. Say that again. Now,
You gotta
that's
know,
the best part.
You got to know when to seize opportunity. So when you see an opportunity, you got to know, wait, this is an opportunity. Let me jump on it. Let me talk, build relationships, and jump on it. So you got to build.
So
I want to get back to Momi though,
okay.
because I got a couple of interesting questions, business questions.
So I have a question for you though.
So again,
One business question I have for you. What encouragement you give to a young person that's coming up, like opening a business, based on what you've been through?
Mhm.
What would be the question you have for a young? What would you tell the young person or younger me,
Right.
that is coming up trying to open a business? How do they? Because there's a lot of people with
Right.
businesses.
Right.
It's not legal. It's not together, so they can't. So what would you say to that person?
So with the clothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So before I go LLC Momi, I had to find out, can I move the product?
LLC.
Right.
You just dropped that.
Right.
A lot of people are
Right.
not LLC. So let's talk about that
now
first.
there's a difference. You got people that got clothing lines.
Yes.
They slap their name on a piece like this and just selling
They
stuff
don't own
out the
nothing.
trunk. They don't own it. They don't have a business bank account. So before I got LLC, I had to know, could this move? Do the people like it? So through social media, I'm making money. It's real simple. Pre-order. People hit me up, DM me. You want the piece? Cash App Zelle me. Real simple. Cash App Zelle me, you get the piece in 1 week.
Over here.
It takes a week. Once that started flowing, I found myself like doing $800 to $1,200 a week. Like I got $800 to $1,200 a week profit in my pocket every week. Like, so I got extra money now. So this is serious. That was my proof of concept. This is serious. So boom. Now I'm like, I'm on to something. Let me LLC Momi. So my man gave me a corporate lawyer, because you couldn't go to no offices back then because of COVID.
Oh, so you did your LLC during
I did
that
my
time.
LLC. I came out March. I LLC'd the end of April because I took off. COVID didn't slow me down. So people was buying my shit. So the end of April, the last week of April, I'm like, yo, damn, I'm doing like 800. I started off with like 500, 600, but then it was like a consistent like 800, 900, 800, 900. So I'm like, you know what? Let me LLC. So boom, I got the stimulus money. You know, my joint was, what was it? Like, I think it was like 2,000. Like if you had a kid, like 1,800 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was not part of any of that, because I don't even know. I'm still waiting on my
You get the money for the
stimulus.
kid, and then you get yours. So I think it was like 1,800 or something like that. I took that money, used that, and did the whole things with the lawyers and got the LLC. The kit, it's called a kit. The binder.
The black binder.
The company name is right there, Momi Clothing. You get it, come to your house. You take that kit to the bank and open up the business bank account. So now you up and running. You any residual income you put through the bank account. So that's a very important part. You gotta put the money through the business bank account because you gotta get credit.
And you gotta file taxes.
Well, that's too much. You're giving them too much information.
Okay.
Let me tell them about the importance of putting the money through the account. Because when you get money like me, Cash App and Zelle, you got money in your pocket. Some people giving me money on the street. Like I could go to Harlem. There's certain blocks I go through in Harlem, and I make $1,500. I just gotta have a product. You understand what I'm saying? Harlem's actually my best town in New York to make money. I can make, if I have enough product, I can make $2,500 one day in Harlem.
So Mike, with all that being said, I have one question for you.
Okay.
But how did you start why party promotion? How did you start being a party promoter?
So there's a guy from the Bronx. His name is Eric Presley, a very good friend of mine. He's from the Valley in the Bronx. So his wife is actually Tammy Presley, who has the shop across the street from Sugar Mill in Mount Vernon. So he's been doing parties for years, ever since I know him. So it's funny. He's seen in the 90s. He loved my car game. So he was telling me, yo, Mike, it just makes sense for you to do parties because you hang out. People gravitate with you because of the luxury cars and stuff like that. You fit the whole image as a party promoter, and you know people. They call you anyway to be like, yo, Mike, where you partying at tonight? So you'll be perfect. So at first, at the time, you know, I was married. I was with my son's mother. But then when we broke up, it was the green light for me to throw the parties. So when he came back to me, there was a club in Harlem, Body, that I was going to, and then they needed like a promoter. So I was cool with the owner. So I actually was putting him on. Eric.
Yeah.
Eric couldn't do it. He brought me into the situation, and that was my introduction to the party scene. I'm gonna say that was like 2009, and it was an after work Thursday thing, and it was crazy because people came to Body, and then after Body, everybody went to the strip club Sin City on a Thursday, 2009. Just think about what would you doing in 2009, right? So boom, that was like a 5-month run, and then it ended because all these parties like they end because of some bullshit, maybe the owners or something. So then I was hot, fresh in the game. Eric found a spot in White Plains, Westchester. We from Westchester. It's called Milk Bar. Milk Bar was a small spot. So when I seen the spot, I was like, yo, we could like do something here. Boom, we did something there. We start bringing like DJs like SNS. Back then, like SNS was the big name. We brought like Stan Strong from the Bronx. That was another big DJ. E Kim at the time, another big DJ. So we had the city coming up to White Plains. That was big 2009. That was very big. Okay, that ended. That was like a 6-month run. These are like 6 months run because something always goes wrong with the owners. So I was seasoned now. Eric used to bring me to do the deals with the owners. So I knew how to structure a deal and what's a good deal. You know, you want a percentage of the bar. You want to keep the door. You got to pay the DJ. I knew how to do it. So there was a lounge called Salud's, 2010. It was right across from Yonkers Raceway. It's a lounge over there. So I went there, dressed up as a suit, because sometimes they get a little discouraged because you're black and stuff like that. He's going to have a hood party. So I went with a suit. I freaked him. I worked for the post office, had the suit on. I showed him flyers for Body and Milk Bar, this and that. And I was like, yo, I want to do this. I don't want to run this like a bar. I want to run this like a club. So they was impressed, like, you think you can run this like a club? Like, yeah, definitely. Get people bottle poppers here and all that. So they gave me like a club deal, like 10%. You do this, you get 15. You do this, you get 20. It was a club deal in a lounge in Westchester. So boom, they thought about it for 3 weeks. I picked the Thursday night. That Thursday night was dead. That's another thing with the party thing. Doing parties in the week, they're quick to give you a night because it's extra money for them. You know, everybody want to keep Saturday and Friday for them. It's the best night. But Thursdays and Tuesdays, they're like, fuck it, give it to him. He's going to fail. Until you start doing numbers, they take you serious. Then they be like, what you need? You need bottles, this and that. Like, what you need? So, Salud's, they took a chance on me. I put the team together. Boom, we took off. That was like the hottest thing in Westchester for like 2010. I had, like now, people pay like Jadakiss and rappers to come to their party. All of them was coming to my party. Right. Jadakiss, Fat Man Scoop, all of them coming for free. Because it was hard to get in. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? The bar's doing like 15,000. This is a lounge, not a club. It's a lounge. We're doing 15,000 at the bar. 2010. So those 3 years, 2008, 9, 10, that put me in the party game. I was labeled as official promoter, Money Mike, throwing parties. And that's how it all started. Oh, and then I did something epic. Barcelona Bites. So that was more current. Because I took a break from the party thing because I felt like owners took advantage of the culture. A lot of these owners are Dominican or white, but preferably Dominican. And, you know, not to say they're racist, but they're a little racist. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to, they start counting your money. What you doing at the door, they peeping shit. You know what I'm saying? So it starts off all good. Like, we'll give you a percentage of the bar. You know, they're making a lot of money at the bar.
But like most people do when they start seeing you making money.
But then they like, wait a minute.
They always counting their money.
They hearing stuff from security. Yo, they charging $30, $40. So they start doing the math like, well, if he charging $20, $30, we know from the security there was 300 people in here. He's eating a little more than us. But listen, your bar's making money. Don't get greedy. If your bar doing 10,000, stay out the way. Like, if I wasn't here, you wouldn't be doing 3,000. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, with these owners, you just gotta sit down and talk, work out the deal, work out the situation.
So that make you start doing.
And so Barcelona Bites, very interesting story. So relationships, 914, RIP to him. He passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So 914 is a promoter, a dude that had a heart transplant,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what made him start throwing parties because he couldn't work. So he started throwing parties. He stuck with it. I mean, we kept saying sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
He stuck with it. Started doing parties with Bronx promoters. So he got better. I seen the transformation with him getting better. He used to come to my parties. Let's keep it real. And then he started doing parties. So I started admiring him. So when I seen him at Barcelona Bites, he had it with some girl from the Bronx. And he pulled my man Gio in, and they were struggling. So they put me in. When they put me in, it was a good situation. They had a club deal, 20%. They get free bottles. The situation was good. So I'm like, and Barcelona held like 400 people. So at the time, the only thing in the Bronx I was rocking was salsa. So Barcelona was Tuesday in the Bronx, over there by Van Cortlandt. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I got down. Long story short, we all brought something to the table. You know, I was good with bringing Harlem, Bronx, Westchester. George was good at bringing women. 914 was good at bringing his little Bronx friends, Yonkers. The other girl was good at bringing Bronx. Everybody does their part to make a party. So this was an unusual crew that got put together. But it worked. It was crazy. And yo, I'll never forget. I started Barcelona June 2016. Yo, the bar went from 5,000 every week, grow 8,000, 12, 15, 20. Then for like 7 weeks, it was 20 and better. 23, 26, 24, 28 on a Tuesday. So I took a break from partying for 3 years, picked back up Barcelona in 2016. And when that took off right away, automatically people was like, oh, we're better than salsa. Salsa on Thursday, as y'all know. People saying we're better than them on Tuesday. People come from everywhere. Barcelona was so crazy, you couldn't get in there. 11 o'clock, you couldn't get in there. It's crazy.
You know, this conversation is getting crazier and weirder.
Everybody went to Barcelona.
No.
From everywhere.
To me.
They heard about it. Real
so
talk.
Sit back in your chair for a second.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation about doing an event, right?
Right.
Oh, you don't even remember this, so you could sit back.
Okay.
So the partner approached me first about doing an event. I just tell you I have nuggets and I store them and I drop them.
That's cool.
And then he said, we agreed to do the event, me and your partner. And then he said, let me bring my other partner. And then he came. Don't remember me. I said, oh, yeah, I know him. Because that's me. I'm always, I know such and such Karen. Sometimes I don't remember exactly where we know each other from. But I did remember you. And he came, we did the deal. The deal didn't happen, not because of us or the relationship. I'm going to remind you after we close this camera.
Right.
Where.
Yeah.
But the deal didn't happen because of where it was going to be and the people that was involved, the owners, really.
Oh, okay.
So it really wasn't me. This is airy for me.
Yeah. No,
because we're so with you promoting, I'm sure you've met a whole bunch of people and you've done a whole lot of things.
Right.
But all I'm getting from this interview is relationship. Be good to your situations because you never know where you're going to be in, for me, 20, 30 years
and
later.
Through Barcelona, so I met a different breed of promoters.
Yeah.
I met local DJs that I would have never dealt with. A whole bunch of local DJs. I know all of them now. Like, back when I was doing parties, like Smooth Ski, Razy, none of them existed. They exist now. And they came through the circuit of me. And we got good relationships. Promoters, too. A whole bunch of promoters I met. We got good relationships. And listen, it's as simple as this. Somebody get a spot and I'm in the top 5 of getting a phone call like, do you want to be a part of this situation? Talking is the key. Let me keep it 100. Sharing and talking. Because on Instagram, they got the story. So, you got your page, that's cool. But then you got your story. You'll be surprised. I do so much better in my story. Because now you can see who's viewing you and like, If a person don't like your picture on Instagram, you don't know who's like watching. You know what I'm saying? But in your story, yo, my numbers is incredible. My numbers some days is like 500, and I know who's watching. So when you know who's watching, now this is a marketing tip. Now, when you know who's watching, you feed the story. That's why it's called a story. So my story is not just moment. My story is the lifestyle. They bought into the lifestyle. So they bought into me in Miami, fucking up cash at this restaurant here, then back to Momi, then back to the lifestyle. So I'm bouncing all over the place because I'm giving them a storyline in the lifestyle. The lifestyle's for real because it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
But what I like with you is I see a lot of people on Instagram and a lot of their stories and a lot of their lifestyles are not really real.
Facts.
What I like with your stories that I view on Instagram is it's actually you.
It's real time.
It's you in real
I'm really
time.
I'm really in the Louis store.
Yes, it really is.
I'm really in
the Fendi store. Yeah,
Fendi. That was today. But we'll get back to that because I got a party this Saturday. And
I hope he has something in that Fendi bag for me.
Yeah.
I waited for him, so you better have something over there.
Sorry, I was shopping.
That's all right.
But yeah.
He was shopping. But anyway, you better have something for me. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, for me, that's inspiring. And when you live in a community, sometimes you got to give back.
Right.
And I always see you around, and there's nothing anyone could say about you that's negative.
Right.
Because you're always giving back. You're always reaching down and pulling someone up.
I'm glad you said that. So there's some people, I'm not gonna name drop, that if you was like one of my peers and you going through a tough time, and I liked your style, we had good vibes. I'm in a pretty good situation. It's not for me to. If you gravitate towards me, you start coming around, I like your style, yo, come on, I got you, don't worry about it. You know, there's situations where, some people I'm cool with, like, yo, you want to come to the party? Yo, you need something? All right, boom, let's go shopping. Like, it's cool. Like, if you got it like that, you could do that, it's cool. But there's nothing wrong with picking good people up, people who you think is good people. There's nothing wrong with picking them up, picking their whole spirit up, and making them, give them hope that they could change it around. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want nothing back. It's just genuine. I'm just trying to help you out and give you the most information so you can figure out what you need to figure out in life. That's just how life goes. You know what I'm saying? What you put into the universe, you get back.
So, with you saying what you put in the universe, what you get back, what would be one of your favorite quotes? Like favorite saying, something you say all the time, something you hear all the time.
So a favorite quote that I use is go time. So if you come around me and I say it's go time, that means we going out and we gonna get it on tonight. It's gonna be a good night. It's go time.
It's go time.
It's go time. If you hanging out with me, it's go time 100%. You're gonna be like, oh damn, I don't wanna go home.
It's go time.
It's go time.
So I'll say for me, one of my favorite, I like quotes and I have a few, but for this moment is sitting right in front of me. The best things in life is the people that you meet along the way. Right? And for me, for this and the places you've been, right? But, and the memories that you've made, I think it's fitting for this conversation because of your love for the 90s. Because the best thing for you was the 90s. Because the 90s, the people you meet, the experience that you have. So I want to take time out to say thank you for being a part of my moment.
Oh, that's what's up.
And my memory. And a good part of that.
A good part. Appreciate
because we don't tell people thank you enough for being a part of our journey and our moment. Because everybody you meet in life is a part of your journey.
And I'm going to say this. I'm still here and relevant. A lot of people in the 90s who they was relevant in the 90s that I came up with, they're not relevant right now. I'm just keeping it 100. They're not relevant at all. And these people was up there, relevant, running with the best of the best. There are nobody right now.
So let me ask you one thing before we wrap up. Let me ask you this thing. I'm trying to see how to add which one of the questions. I have a couple questions for you. We could sit here for hours and just rap.
Yeah, good.
Right? But one question I want to ask you Now, if you have to change
Mhm.
one thing about the way you're doing business now,
Mhm.
would you change anything? Would you improve on anything, or
Um,
what would you change? Or
um, um, so I'm gonna have to, work on when you're a businessman. You go through a team adjustment. So
mm-hmm.
when I say a team adjustment, so there's people that was a part of the company. Certain things I hire them for, pay them for, or they get merchandise or whatever the case may be. And when people get down, it's cool. They gain the information and all that. It's cool. But then they feel like, okay, I helped out. I could take this knowledge. I don't want to give it to Mike. I want to do my own thing. And that's cool. They bounce, they do their own thing. It was a failure instead of sticking with the team. So when it grows, you grow too. Because I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
giving and sharing person. So it's not, no one can say like, oh, Mike didn't pay me for my services. Nah. But, certain people get slick and think like, I could do what you doing too. You don't have the juice I got from the 90s in the background. So you really can't. But everybody think they know people. Like, I got my base too until it's a failure and you should have stayed. So for me, I gotta consistently meet people and build the team because there's people that leave and then you gotta replace them. So I gotta constantly network and build a team. But there's one story I want to leave y'all with the business. Came out March, summer flowing, selling Momi. This is t-shirt and hat now. Nothing else. No sweatsuit, no hoodie.
Oh, this wasn't out yet?
Wasn't out. I
Hmm.
came out with a t-shirt and hat and simple, white and black. I didn't start doing colors to summer when the world opened up a little bit. I started doing colors,
Smart
blue
move.
and all
That was
that.
a smart move.
Right. So boom, summertime, t-shirts, hat. So the fall came. Got to connect, sweatsuit and velour suit. Came out with that September, end of August, September. When I came out with this with the sweatsuits and the velour sweatsuits, it was over. Went like hockey, especially that velour. That velour sweatsuit reminded people of the Sean John. My best month. Now keep in mind, I came out in March. My best month was October. I did 16,000, 16,500 to be exact. You heard what I said? 16,500. Okay, that was my best month.
16,500, right?
16,000 profit.
Profit. After you, okay.
Profit. 16,500. So you recouped your money you put out, but the profit was 16,500. A lot of stuff come to your crib in Momi Clothing from banks. Oh, you can get 100,000. You can get 200,000. There was one that was 500,000.
It's a trap.
So it's Christmas time. It's not a trap. I'm about to
Okay.
educate you.
Okay.
And they giving you this information because you're a legit LLC
LLC.
and you have a business bank account. So they pick that up and they send you this stuff. So boom, it was just one for $500,000. I was like, let me call them. It's close to Christmas. I need some extra money, some credit line. Excuse me.
Credit line. Okay.
Credit
Credit
line.
line is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
it was a bridge. It was called like a bridge program.
Mm-hmm.
Called him up. He was like, so I'm like, how does this work? It depends on how much your business made, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. So he was like, what's your best month? So I told him, I did 16,500. Oh, you'll be available for like 180, 200,000. So I'm like, okay, bet. He like, all right, send over the bank statements.
Because they want to prove it.
Heard what I just said. Send over the bank statements. So remember,
Put that money in the bank.
The first 5 minutes of our conversation,
Put that money
I said,
in the bank.
put the money in the business bank account. Because had I did that for the month of October, because remember, I'm getting Cash App and Zelle. And I don't got my Cash App at the time and Zelle linked to my business bank account. It was personal. So I would have had to reroute money and all that. And I'm not the best computer person and all that. So when he said that on the phone, I'm like, well, I don't have bank statements, but I've been doing Cash App and Zelle. He's like, that's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bank statement, end of the month, it shows the total, and then you send us. He said, I could have had you 200,000 in 2 weeks.
Well, I'm going to say this. Thanks for that lesson, because guess what?
It's real talk.
No, guess what? A lot of people with businesses,
Hmm?
even established business, are not putting their money in the business bank account. A lot of people have
Because you get credit
businesses
for that.
and not paying themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
You
yeah.
know, you sometimes
Well, they're looking at it like, your first 3 years, they tell you that, you can take losses, but it might be doing you some hindering, doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're giving people money away.
always do it. I always go the hard way. I say
No, listen.
people say it's the hard way, so I go the
Listen.
hard way.
If you put money through the business bank account, pay
Hey.
no taxes on it, listen, they're giving you money away right now because of the pandemic. See, it's a different world right now because of the pandemic. They're giving you free money from the pandemic if you show the results. If you show the results, then you don't got to pay back this money. Like, the business is so deep and real. So I tell everybody, listen, first step of the game, you want to do something, LLC. Once you LLC and start having conversation, this is another thing. Once I started talking to people like, I got an LLC, got a clothing line, and they know I got a business bank account, the conversation is like totally different for me
Different,
out in the street. I don't get the regular conversation I used to get before a moment. Like my conversation, different people reach out, talk to me. It's like on another level.
It's a different level. It's a level in this thing.
I don't get too much regular conversation.
So someone once says there are levels in this thing.
Yeah, no,
there are levels.
Yeah, once you get an LLC and people know that, that's why every chance I get, I put it on Instagram, Momi Clothing LLC. You'd be surprised my DMs. The people that hit me like, oh, this is an LLC, this is a business, and they give you that different conversation. There's some people that on Instagram that was very helpful, like, yo, Mike, did you know this? Did you know that? You could do this. Because I put out there, I got an LLC. That's not something you hide. Put that out to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this question. I know we keep saying we're wrapping up, but I gotta ask you this question, right? Mm-hmm. So you went through the 90s. Mm-hmm. You worked at the post office.
Right. Still do.
You do your promotion,
right.
promotional
Party
stuff,
right?
And you do your clothing design, right? Most people I know work at the post office is good with their retirement and just chill.
Right.
What drive you? What is your why? Why?
Okay.
Why didn't
I'm
you?
Answer that.
Yeah. What
I'm
is
cut you
your,
off.
Yeah. My greatest question to you today is what is your why?
So, post office is a great job.
What drives you?
You can pay your mortgage, mm-hmm. pay your bills, do sustain in life. Mm-hmm. A very big appetite. Heard I just
what drives you is your appetite?
I have a very big appetite.
Nice.
I'm doing unusual shit. So the shit I'm doing, people at the post office is not buying Rolexes. I'm on my 4th trip. We're in month 8? This is month 8, right?
Yep.
I'm on my 4th trip. I've been to Miami twice, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you see my tan.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
But he
I don't know if you
see
see my tan.
He brought
I got the Puerto Rico shirt.
He brought me nothing back.
You understand what I'm saying?
You did bring me some liquor or something.
So all I'm saying is I have a big appetite. I flew first class to Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's the way to fly.
First class.
Okay.
That was $1,000 a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I took my guest, a young lady, all expenses paid. I have a big appetite. So I did a poll around the post office. No one flew first class in the post office. She said it's a good job. No one has ever flew first class. I'm talking about from grown people to young people. No one's flew first class. Mm. And post office is a good job. I know this. So I have a big appetite. So even though I got a good job, I don't know if you know this. So they say, I want y'all to Google something. They say to maintain being a millionaire, you have to have at least
7 jobs,
5 to 6 streams of income.
How did I know that's what you're gonna say?
Okay.
No. Cheers.
So goes back to the big appetite with me. I could have, just stayed the post to work, go to work, clock in, every 2 weeks you get your check, do some overtime, and that's it. Regular lifestyle. When I say it's the lifestyle, I'm living. All you gotta do is check out my Instagram.
But I
Money
like
Mike 1996.
ah.
Marketing Mike 2020. Check out my Instagram. I'm living.
So Mike, say
True
your
story.
Instagram again. How they could reach you and buy your
Money
product.
Mike 1996. Marketing Mike 2020. Check out the lifestyle. And I put Marketing Mike for my clothing line is because they say I'm a genius at marketing. And it only gets better. I'm just trying to juggle these other streams of income because it's not just about money. It's not just about Mike doing parties. It's not just about Mike working at the post office. I got a couple of other things behind the scenes that I'm working on. Real estate is one that I'm juggling all that right now. You know what I'm saying? So my days, like my circle even changed.
Oh wait, that's gonna
My
change.
circle even
Yeah.
changed. So I don't have time to hang with Joe Schmo and this one and that one because I could fuck around and fuck up 5 hours and that wasn't productive and now I'm behind. So every day I gotta do the most. So look at my day. I go to work, get out at 4. I gotta do so much stuff from 4 to 9.
So I was gonna ask him the day in the life of
I
Mike. See, he
I
answered.
gotta cram all that in. Now if some money's coming in, I might have to skip work. Because some money's coming in. So if you know this
Because you have a big appetite.
you know if this is like a $2,000, $3,000 day, fuck work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but that's
I
on
will
the
see you
books.
tomorrow because I do have time.
But I have time.
That's what he
So
meant to
I'll
say.
call a sick day. This is a $3,000 day, you know, with merchandise and all that. So it be like that. That's what type of time I'm on right now. The level I'm on right now, and I'm blessed. I owe a lot of this to social media. That's free. Instagram's free. Facebook is free. So think about it. Back in the days, if you wanted your company to grow, you hired a PR firm.
Facts.
The PR firm is Instagram, Facebook right now.
I hired a PR firm before.
That's over.
And wait, we just had a
We got
conversation for 2
Instagram,
months. Nothing
Facebook.
happened. No, my
Okay.
PR is Instagram. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
Instagram,
correct.
Facebook. So you could do the PR work, or if you're
Mhm.
smart, you sit down, you network. You find somebody that's loopy out here. Loopy meaning like they the wave, and
Mhm.
you find a way for them to integrate and help you out to get your situation off the map. But you are the PR firm from a free situation, Instagram, Facebook.
Well, Mike, I will
Yes.
tell you this.
Yes.
I am grateful
Yes.
that you took a time
Mhm.
out of your day
Mhm.
to spend with us here at
Yes,
EOB
yes, yes.
Salon Talk.
One thing I want to leave y'all is Black Lives Matter. We're supposed to support each other, uplift each other, and I just want my words to impact somebody. You know, that's why I try to speak a lot on social media because you'll be surprised who's listening. And if you could impact one person for the week, that's a blessing.
I actually want to get you on another platform that I do, which is my foundation for the
It's all good.
home,
I'm there.
foster
Set it
care
up.
kids and
I'm there.
homeless kids.
So
So I do want to get you on another platform, maybe to speak to the kids, just
Right.
to drive them.
right.
You know, see, I'm a youth. We
Right.
do see. Remember, I told you I was a shampoo girl.
Right.
So I observe.
Yes.
Observation is key to a motive
It's key.
mind, right?
Got you.
A motive mind is a mind that's going.
Yes.
And you said one of my favorite things that I always say: in order for you to be great, right? See, if you can't, a lot of people are in this situation and they can't see past today. They can't see. See, I know, I could tell you what I'll be doing in the next 5 years or what my future looks like.
Right.
You have to see that. I never see myself taking a bus, can't drive a car, can't do that.
Right.
So you have to think ahead of your time.
Oh yeah.
And you are always thinking ahead of your time.
Oh yeah, always.
So
yeah.
I
That's
thank
just me.
you for that.
Appreciate you.
I thank you for that because people like you will help. If you help even one young man today
Facts.
to
It goes a
learn
long way.
that they could do that, you have done your job.
Absolutely.
You have done well.
Yes.
So with that, I want to tell you thank you. And Mike, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share,
yes.
and comment on
Yes.
EOB Salon Talk.
Yes.
Follow us. We're on all platforms,
Okay.
but follow us on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, subscribe, and share. Are you on
Yeah.
YouTube yet? You'll be on YouTube soon.
Yes.
We may do something on YouTube. We ain't gonna say much because something came to my head. We'll talk
Okay,
later.
say no more.
So I have a platform I'm putting together. We'll
Okay, send them
talk.
on. I'm here.
See, production don't like me because my head works while I talk.
Listen, it's all good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
So
It's all
this was good, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you to
Yes,
come.
yes.
This is so for me. I'll tell you a little thing about me. I know we're probably over time.
Yeah.
But this is full circle, and what I realize that's happening is my life is coming full circle.
Okay.
And when your life begins to come full circle, I'm about to get emotional. What's wrong with me? Because every interview that I've been doing is like a full circle interview.
Right.
You know, we met years ago, maybe
Right.
20, 30 something,
Right.
however long it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
still
yeah,
young.
yeah.
I ain't going to talk about that.
So we
But
going.
we met years
Yeah, we're
ago.
going to like 95.
In this space, I used to be a shampoo girl.
Right.
I owned the
95.
joint.
Right.
But we're looking and we're saying, you know, I do this because I want young people to know that it's not where you start.
Right.
It's your vision. And
Your
if you
vision.
have a vision, just work
Right.
hard
Work hard.
towards your vision.
And
Because
you got to stick with it and put the work in.
you got to put
You
the
got to
work
put
in.
the work in. And people think shit happens overnight. They might get frustrated. Shit don't happen in 2 months, so they give up. You gotta keep putting the work in. Keep putting the work in. Don't give up. If it don't work, find a new way. Adjust. You know, you always gotta adjust, tweak things. It's tweaking and meeting people. You got to be a socialite. Talk to people. Educate yourself on whatever you're doing. You have to research and get the information and master your craft. So you know you do hair. So you're looking at the competition. You're looking at all the beauty salons and seeing who's doing good stuff, who's doing bad stuff, and how you can, outdo everybody. You gotta, see what's going on, and that's in every craft, clothing, whatever it is. You gotta see what other people are doing, and it's okay to admire certain people. Then it's okay to be like, oh, I wouldn't do it like that, and then you come with your own little twist.
But stay true to yourself.
Yeah, true, yeah.
To
stay
thyself,
you and true.
To thyself.
Stay true in you.
Stay true.
Stay true in you.
I want to thank you for taking your time to be here today.
Yes.
And once again, this is EOB Salon Talk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thanks for watching.